Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. Oh my goodness. So, building character. It's been a fun journey. I'm not ending anytime soon. Sorry, that sounded really ominous the way I said it. I'm sorry. Um, but today, I've been doing a lot of gaming. Started a couple new games, trying to learn systems that I'm not super familiar with, from a DM kind of perspective, not a player's side. And I'm going to be starting a D&D game soon. I built my first dungeon. Figured out how to build encounters, or at least I hope so. We'll see how it goes. Hi. Oh, the chat's lively tonight. Hello. Anyways, I've been rambling a little bit. Welcome to Building Character with me, Logan. I'm one of the hosts at the Storytold podcast, which I hope you listen to. If you don't, check us out wherever you can listen to podcasts: Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, are the big three that we're on. We are proud members of the D20 Radio Network. We are affiliated with Metallic Dice Games. Enter the code StoryTold10 into your order to receive 10% off. And we also are partnered with Fool's Moon Entertainment. They have been doing so many cool charity games over the past few months. They're really good people. You'll find links to all of their stuff in our socials, so please go check it out. If you like what we do here, both on Twitch and for the podcast, we have a Patreon if you'd like to support us there. Or you can like and subscribe us here on Twitch. Whatever works for you. Also, whatever doesn't work for you. We're not expecting anything, but any little bit helps us just keep the lights on, so to speak. Yeah, so I'm making a D&D character, and I think it's going to be really fun. I'm going to do up to level 3, because that's when things start to get a little bit more interesting with D&D. But what I will say is that I'm just using the core player's handbook. The reason I say that is because in recent years, an effort to be more inclusive and to kind of change the discourse on how different races are presented and interpreted in D&D, they've kind of changed the rules a little bit on ability score increases. Now, I am not going to do that because if those of you out there that are playing D&D only have the player's handbook, that information's not going to be in there, and I don't want to confuse you. So I'm going to make this character by the book, but understand that they have been making a few changes in regards to that to make the game a little bit more updated to the times, which is a really good thing, I think. And I think they're actively making an effort. Are they perfect? No. But so few of us, none of us, are. But it's good to see an effort being made. Anyways, excuse me, I have the hiccups tonight. I am going to be making a gnome tonight. If you're in the chat, Inquisitive Libby gave me the idea for this character, which I'm really, really excited about. But the character's name is Uli. I don't know the last name yet. I'll come up with that later. But I do know that it's going to be a gnome. If it will let me type in here. And we're going to go Barbarian. Now, I'm putting Barbarian 1 in here because when I make a D&D character, a lot of games typically start out at level 3 because that's when you get to choose your specialty in terms of your class, so to speak. But as I build, I like to build it level by level. It helps me kind of wrap my head around what I'm doing a little bit. So, first things first, in your player's handbook, it's going to tell you to choose your race first. Well, I've already chosen gnome, so let's... Ooh, my phone's blowing up. Nothing I need to say. Ooh, why don't we pick a clan name? Uli Turin. I like that. And we're going to go they, them. I think Uli is a non-binary barbarian. Non-bibar. I don't know. My brain is fried today, everyone. I apologize, but a non-binary barbarian. Whew. Okay, so I have a little bit of a system here. I know that your ability score goes in the bigger part of here, but what I do is I put the ability score modifier that you get into the box just so I know to raise it later. So barbarians are not known for their intelligence. I'll likely put my 10 in here to raise it, or my 8 score in here to raise it to a 10 because I'm not going to need it. And usually the score that you don't need the most of is your dump stat in D&D. I know I'm not the biggest min-maxer in the world, but I do kind of know my way around a D&D character sheet. But this will also give me a +0 to my intelligence modifier if I do that, which means that I won't have any negative modifiers to my intelligence, which is kind of a big win to start out with. But we're going to find all that out as we go through this. So your intelligence score increases by 2. Gnomes can live to be about 350 to 500 years. They're between 3 and 4 feet tall and average about 40 pounds, and their size is small. So I like to make a note of that here. Now, the height and weight, I'm going to roll randomly for that. I love rolling randomly for the height and weight stuff. I find it really, really fascinating, and I remembered dice tonight, so there's that. Because they're small, their base walking speed is 25 feet. They also get cool things like dark vision, which is really cool. There we go. They have gnome cunning. Cunning, too. And what this does is they have advantage in all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic. So make a note of that. ADV, int, intelligence, and charisma versus magic. That is actually baller for a barbarian. Non-barbarian, right? It's funny, right? It sounds kind of cool. I like it. Let's see, then languages. Languages go down here. You know Common and Gnomish. It says here, the Gnomish language, which uses the Dwarvish script, is renowned for its technical treatises and its catalogs of knowledge about the natural world. That's really kind of cool to me. Okay, so now you choose your subrace. So I'm going to go back up to the top here, and we're going to have our subrace. And the core book provides 2. You have forest gnomes and rock gnomes. Forest gnomes get a dexterity bonus and natural illusions, and they can speak with small beasts, which could be kind of cool for a barbarian. Rock gnomes get a constitution bonus, which would be amazing for a barbarian. Gives you more hit points. And Artificer's Lore, that might not be that useful for me. And then you have proficiency with Artisan's Tools, Tinker's Tools. I don't really think Rock Gnome fits. So as much as it's strange, we're going to go with Forest Gnome. Or at least on first glance. At first glance, it seems a little strange. But they get a +1... Whoa. +1 dexterity. That'll come into play here in a little bit. Let's see. You know the minor illusion cantrip. So we're gonna pick cantrip. And then we're gonna go down to the 3rd page in cantrips and put minor illusion. And it uses intel, so he's not that good at it, or they're not that good at it. Kind of makes it a little weird. I might end up boosting my intelligence a little bit more. We will see. Maybe I'll actually go... Ooh, I don't know. Wisdom or charisma for my 8. Maybe keep my intelligence high. Bonjour, Steven. Hi. How's it going? How's it going? Let's see. And then I get speak with small beasts. And this is the one that I find really kind of cool for this idea. So speak with small beasts. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate with simple ideas with small or smaller beasts. Forest gnomes love animals and often keep squirrels, badgers, rabbits, moles, woodpeckers, and other creatures as beloved pets. I think that's kind of an interesting direction. Okay. So next, if we're going through this in order of the book, is you choose your class and then you do your ability scores. Well, I'm definitely going barbarian. Let me find that here. Okay, so Barbarian, my hit die is, we have one right now, and it is a 12, a D12, which is nice. My primary ability is Strength, so I should put a star here, because I do want it to be good. I am just personally having a hard time wrapping my head around a gnome with a 15 Strength. I just am. Aw, yay! Oh, that's lovely. Watch and review. I don't know if I do this best, but thank you for the compliment, Stephen. I really appreciate that. Let's see, my proficiency saving throws are in Strength and Constitution. That will become important here in a minute. You see I fill in those little circles now. And I have light and medium armor, shield, simple, and martial weapons. We'll come into that in a moment. Okay. So let's start with my proficiencies here. Let's see. Armor, light, medium, shields. Let's see, weapons. And these are basically, if I use weapons and armor from this category, and I get my proficiency bonus, which starts out as a +2 to rolls and stuff of that nature. If I'm not proficient in it, I get like a negative, I think. It's been a while, but you don't get the proficiency bonus, so either way it sucks. Simple and martial. So simple, comma, martial. I get no tools proficiencies, but I am going to make a note of it here, because I might have some later. Saving throws, strength, and constitution, I've already figured those out. And let's see, so I choose 2 skills from animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. I think that maybe, let's go with animal handling. I think that could be a really interesting direction for the barbarian, especially with the speak with small beasts, because maybe I could multi-class later into something that gives me like an animal companion, or I could even go, I think some of the other not druid, but barbarian primal paths deal with animals, but we'll see. Now the other one, I'm kind of torn between nature, perception, and survival. So perception is wisdom-based, survival is wisdom-based, and nature is intelligence-based. I think I'm going to go nature. I think I'm going to go with this whole really lean into this child of nature kind of thing, and perhaps Uli was raised by the forest and orphaned somehow. So yeah, so we're going to go with animal handling and nature. Okay, so let's see. We're going to come to the hit points here in a moment. Does anyone else do a house rule out there with your hit points where you do the maximum possible hit points? I know I like to do it. I haven't heard of a lot of people doing it. In the D&D game I'm going to run, I haven't decided what I'm going to do. We're just going to leave that at. But okay. Oh, actually, before I do this, let's mark some of my equipment here. A great axe or any martial melee weapon. Well, what are some of the martial melee weapons? I don't know if a great axe is necessarily what I want to use. Where is equipment? Boom, 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 boom. I don't think I can use it if it's heavy because I'm small. Yeah, okay, so I can't take the great axe because I'm small and it's heavy. I get a disadvantage with it, which negates a lot of good things. Okay, a battle axe. That's a D8. Hmm. Hmm. I'm torn between a war pick and a battle axe. Although the versatile, what does versatile do again? Versatile if it uses 2 hands, I do more damage. I'm going to go with the battle axe as my weapon. And I'm going to make a note up here, battle axe. We'll come to that in a minute, but the damage type is 1d8, 10, plus... Oh, really? It's not letting me put that all... D8 plus... So BTL... Cool. Okay, you get the idea. 2 hand axes or any simple weapon, an explorer's pack, and 4 javelin. I like this axe thing. So... The V means versatile. The hand axe 2 means I have 2 of them. We'll figure out what that is in a little bit. So we have an 2 hand axes explorer's pack. 4 did I spell that right? EL. It's EL. Look at that. I knew I got it wrong. 4 javelins. We'll look up what those combat things are in a minute. Okay, so let's see. So that is my equipment. Now I get rage, which is huge for barbarians. It's kind of their special shtick, and unarmored defense. Okay, so rage. In battle, you fight with primal ferocity. On your turn, you can enter rage as a bonus action. While raging, you gain the following benefits. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws when you're not wearing heavy armor. Cool. When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain a bonus to the damage roll that increases as you gain levels as a barbarian, as shown in the rage damage column. So I get an extra +2 damage. So, rage damage. So yeah, so Uli is just this little ball of angry muscle. Wild child Uli, yes. Okay, I don't want notifications. Why is that showing up? Okay. Okay, so while you're not wearing any armor, your armor class is equal to 10, plus your dexterity modifier, plus your constitution modifier, and you can use a shield and still gain this benefit. I find that really cool. So, unarmored defense. And just because I haven't... Oh, shit. Because I haven't picked those yet, I'm going to do 10... plus dex plus strength plus con. Sorry. I might, when I get my gold later, might buy a shield. I think that could be interesting, and just like really bulk up that AC and make Uli just a beast on the dance floor. Okay, so now I go in and choose my ability scores, keeping in mind I get a +2 intelligence. Whoa, that kind of freaked out. And a +1 dexterity, which will help with my AC, so I have to be smart about that. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to put my 15 in dexterity to make that 16, because that'll just help out my AC, which will really help with a lot of other things, I think, especially being like this like child of nature. In my mind, it works. Okay, so now my 14, because strength is important, I really want to put that in there, and probably my ability increases will go to strength. So out of 14, Uli has a +2 strength. He is rock solid muscle. So my 15 and 14. So what I'm doing here is the standard array. You get 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. And what this is cool about this is it takes a lot of the legwork. They have other options in here of like rolling randomly or doing point buy. I like that they've kind of standardized this. Not everyone does, and I've done it all kinds of different ways. There's no right or wrong way, but if you're trying to make characters like quickly and efficiently and a little easily, it really helps. Oh, your initiative is also +3 because it bases off your dexterity modifier. Also another reason to have high dex. So you get to go first. Okay, so I've done my 15 and my 14, so I have 13, 12, 10, and 8. I actually think I'm going to put my... Ooh, animal handling, no. Maybe I'm going to put my charisma at 8, which makes it a -2. So he's not very likable, but it'd also be because he's not very worldly. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're mean, but he might just be a little inept, which is cool. So now 13, 12, and 10. I definitely want to put the 13 here on con, because that'll, well, let's do the 12 there. I'm being a little min-maxy, but you'll see why in a minute. We're going to do wisdom at 10, so that's just a +0. So that was 10, that'll make that 13 for the constitution. Oh wait, no, I already did that. I'm an idiot, ignore me. So 8, 10, 12, so it's my 13. So if I put my 13 here in intelligence and raise it to 2, that brings it to a 15, which gives it a +2, which is a little bit interesting for a barbarian, but he is a gnome and they're known for their intelligence, so we're not going to necessarily be awful about that. Or it's not necessarily awful. So for your hit points, your hit point is D12 plus your Constitution modifier. My Constitution is not the greatest. I own that 100%. But that's okay. That's okay. Because level 1, my hit point maximum is 13, and I currently have 13 hit points. Cool. You'll see all these blank slots later. I kind of deal with those at the end. Now, a couple other little things. Your proficiency bonus is a +2. Bam. And that kind of... I think your passive wisdom is your perception plus your wisdom modifier, so that is just a base 10. Not great. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so a couple things before we start leveling up is kind of... Okay, so we're going to do random height and weight, because I like to do that. So a gnomes, 211 plus 2d4 for the height. Get out my really beautiful dice set that I got at PAX Unplugged that I really love. So that's 3, 4, 5, so 16, 12. So let's see, 3 foot 4 inches. Weight. Now weight for a gnome times 1 pound. So I got 5 times 1, so it's 5. So 40 pounds. 40 pounds of solid freaking muscle. Let's see, I think that Uli has brown hair, tanned skin. What color eyes do gnomes have? Did they say in here? We're gonna say green eyes. I like that. Why? There we go. Lord. Uli. Age. Now, gnomes... Do they reach adulthood at 40? I think it's 40. I'll say Uli's probably 42. I think that makes sense. Just a little bit over adulthood. A wily, wild, young person. Okay, so what you do next is after you do that, which you don't have to do, you can pick all that on your own. I just like the random tables because I'm weird. You get to choose a background. Now, I've been thinking about this like child of nature, so I think kind of what I want to do. No, that's not right. Man, I thought that was something different. I don't know what background I want. La la la. Ooh, that could be interesting. No, no, actually I don't like that. Let's actually go with Outlander. Maybe Outlander. Yes! We're going to go with Outlander. I was thinking Urchin, but I think that's a little bit more city-focused than I want. Also, that show Outlander's fun. Okay, so you grew up in the wilds, far from civilization, the comforts of town and technology, witnessed the migration of herds larger than forests, survived weather more extreme, and yada 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 yada. Okay, so basically, this childhood nature that I've been wanting to do. So I also get athletics, which is great, and survival, which is actually good because my wisdom score is not awesome. Let's see. I get proficiency in one musical instrument of your choice. I think I'm going to go with the flute. I get one other choice of language. I think I might want to take Goblin. I think knowing the language of your enemies for a barbarian could be useful. And I think Sylvan is a little too on the nose, too, is kind of where I'm at. So let's see, I also have a staff, a hunting trap, a trophy. We're going to say, what are we going to say that is? Like an antler headdress, I think is really cool. Kind of, maybe. Traveler's clothes. And 10 GP. Now, before I start rolling on these origins and my features and everything, I want to go back to equipment and look at how much a shield costs. Costs 10 GP. I'm going to go ahead and spend that 10 GP because I really want that shield. So now my unarmed defense is 10 plus my dex plus my con, which is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Plus the shield makes my armor class 16. Now, if I use the battle axe as a versatile weapon with two hands, I think I do lose the benefit of that shield. But a 16 AC at level 1 is disgusting. You're welcome. Okay, so now we're going to choose some of these origins and stuff for this Outlander. So I need a D10, I need a D8, and I need a D6. Okay, so first things first is we're going to figure out Uli's origin. 10. Tribal Marauder. Okay, I don't know if I like that. Huh. Well, let's roll that again. If it's a 10 again, it's fate. 2. Trapper. Okay, I can get behind that. Okay, I think that makes more sense. I think the Tribal Marauder is a little more dark than I wanted to take Uli. But this also makes sense with, like, you know, the trophy and the hunting trap I have. So that's kind of cool. I also get the feature of Wanderer. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth. Okay, so now I choose my personality trait, and this is the D8. Again, I'm doing these random rolls. You just saw the fact that I didn't like one. If you don't like one, you don't have to keep it. Sometimes I just like the random nature of some of this. I think that's kind of neat. So first things first is the personality trait. 3. I once ran 25 miles without stopping to warn my clan of an approaching orc horde. I'd do it again if I had to. That, again, doesn't kind of fit with his background that I'm playing. I kind of think that he was raised by the forest in some respects. Perfect. I feel more comfortable around. I rolled a 7. I feel more comfortable around animals than people. Who knows? Maybe Uli might multi-class into druid. Okay, so my ideal is a D6. Whoa, my phone is blowing up. Wow. Oh, okay. I'll check all that out here in a little bit. Okay, so my ideals. 2. It's each person's responsibility to make the most happiness for the whole tribe. Good. Huh. But he doesn't have it, or they don't have a tribe. 1. Life is like the seasons, in constant change, and we must change with it. I like that. With it. Perfect. Bam. Fabulous. Gorgeous. Wonderful. Now we do my bond, also a D6. 3. I will bring terrible wrath down onto the evildoers who destroyed my homeland. I like that. That ties into the rage. Homeland is really broad, so perhaps something destroyed the forest already gives the GM a plot hook for Uli if you use them. Crap, what was it? I will bring terrible wrath down on the evildoers. Evildoers. Who destroyed my homeland. This could also even be why Uli became a barbarian, or Uli wasn't always an orphan raised by the forest. Something had to have happened to their clan, so maybe that's part of it. And Uli's flaw is, on a D6, I remember every insult I've received and nurse a silent resentment toward anyone who's wronged me. I kinda love that. Uli's a prickly barbarian. And a very wild child, again. I remember every... Ah. Okay. Cool. So that's like a basic thing here. There's one other equipment thing that I like to do. I love the trinkets. I find that one of the most fascinating things about creating a character, and you roll a D100, and it's just a weird object you have. 63. An alabaster mask. That's interesting. Maybe it's tied to Uli's past. Maybe their clan. Who knows? Who knows? I really should learn how to spell everyone. Like, it's really bad. I apologize. Oh, another house rule I like to do, and I'm going to put a star next to it. Like, if you have a tool that you're proficient in, I think you should start with it, especially if it's something like a musical instrument. It's not like Uli's charisma is going to help with that. He's basically does not get the proficiency bonus, so it cancels out, so it's just a +0 to play on the flute. But that's actually kind of cute, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so we are going to raise up to level 2 and level 3 with our barbarian. So what you do for that is you go back and it kind of like does it all for you. Who knows, maybe if we have enough time, I'll do level 4 and multi-class, because I don't typically multi-class, so it could be a learning experience for me too. Maybe I'll go first level druid. Anyways, wait, where the hell is the barbarian? Oh, I didn't go far enough. Okay. Okay, so oh, I also get. I need to make a note of this, which I didn't earlier. So I can rage twice a day. Okay, so for second level, your hit points at higher level are 1d12 or 7 plus your constitution modifier for barbarian level pass first. So what we're going to do is we have 2d12 hit dice now, and my con modifier is 1. We're going to have to 7 to 8. So it's going to be 21. Now, I'm kind of curious to see if I had rolled for that, what it would have been. So 6. So it would have been only 20 if I had done the roll method. So what they offer you in the book generally is really good. Every now and then you'll get a higher number and you can have higher hit points. It doesn't always work that way, unfortunately. Okay, but so if I'm looking at level 2, my proficiency bonus doesn't change, my rages don't change, and my rage damage doesn't change. But I do get reckless attack and danger sense, and I need to add those to here. Okay, so reckless attack. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapons attack rolls using strength, but attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn. Why would you do that? I don't know why you'd use that. Oh, advantage is different than proficiency. That's why. So it gives you bonuses to do that on your first attack. But it leaves you open to some stuff. But you also get danger sense. So you get an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be, giving you an edge when you dodge away in danger, which is cool. So you have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. So you can't be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. With that +3 dexterity saving throw, that's really good, because now when there's like spells being targeted at me, versus magic basically, I have advantage with wisdom, charisma, intelligence, and dexterity. Like, they're a hard little fucker to hit. Who's Lizzie? Wait, who's Lizzie? Is 1 second, I'm looking at the chat. Who is Lizzie? I don't know who Lizzie is. Okay, Okay, cool. So that's level 2. So level 3, not much changes. I do get 3 rages a day. I do have 3d12. Bam. Okay, so then I add another 7, 8 hit points. So that'll take me to 29 for level 3. And I'm just curious what it'd be if I had rolled for it. A 9. That would have been cool. That would have taken me to 31, which would have been nice, but that's not what we're doing. We're doing it very, very, very by the book. But I do get to pick my primal path. Now this is cool. We're just gonna make a note here. I didn't think I'd like a gnome as a barbarian, but it kind of works in a weird, kooky kind of way. Thanks for the idea, Olivia. So you can do Path of the Berserker. So its rage is a means to an end, that end being violence. The Path of the Berserker is a path of untrammeled fury. I don't know, Berserker. Path of the Totem Warrior. The Path of the Totem Warrior is a spiritual journey as the barbarian accepts the spirit animal as a guide, protector, and inspiration. In battle, your totem spirit fills you with supernatural might. That, yes. We're going to go Totem Warrior. Rad. That's really fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. Okay. The Path of the Totem Warrior is... In such case, okay, so typically you pick one of these animals, and I think other books have more. I could be wrong. Um, some people have multiples, but that's kind of like a GM discretion. I kind of um, get the idea from. Um, you must make and acquire a physical totem object, an amulet or similar adornment that incorporates fur, feathers, claws, teeth, or bones of the totem animal. At your option, you may also gain minor physical attributes that are reminiscent of your totem spirit. For example, if you have a bear totem spirit, you might be unusually hairy or thick-skinned. If your totem is the eagle, your eyes turn bright yellow. Okay. Um. So the bear, while raging, you have resistance to all damage except psychic damage. That's really cool. With eagle, while you're raging, other creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attacks rolls against you. You can use the dash action as bonus actions on your turn. The spirit of the eagle makes you into a predator who can weave through the fray with ease. Wow. Wolf. While you're raging, your friends have advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you that is hostile to you. The spirit of the wolf makes you a leader of hunters. I think I'm going to go wolf. I like that idea. Um, yeah, that's interesting. Now, at level 6, you get the aspect of the beast. With 6, for example, the wolf, you gain the hunting sensibilities of wolf. You can track other creatures while traveling at a fast pace, and you can move stealthily while traveling at a normal pace. That's really cool. At 10th level, you get Spirit Walker. You can cast Commune with Nature, but only as a ritual. And your totem shows up for that. And then Totemic Attunement at level 14. The wolf would, while you're raging, you can use as a bonus action on your turn to knock a large or smaller creature prone when you hit it with a melee attack weapon. That's really cool. So this tiny little gnome could knock over a really large, because large is a size category, enemy at level 14. That sounds fucking awesome. Oh, goodness gracious. So let's see. Totemic Spirit. We're just going to go here. Totemic Spirit. Wolf. Wolf. Oh, cool. I missed this. So I also have Spirit Seeker. Yours is a path that seeks attunement with the natural world, giving you a kinship with beasts. At 3rd level, when you adopt this path, you gain the ability to cast Beast Sense and Speak with Animals spells, but only as rituals. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm pretty sure, look at the spell list real quick. I think we might do a level 4. I don't know. I think we might do level 4 into Druid, but one second. Let's look at Beast Sense first. Just make sure I get at the right level. Bestow. Okay, that's a 2nd level spell? Wow. Okay. Beast Sense Ritual. And then Speak with Animals. So, cool. And the book goes into how you do it as a ritual. That's kind of is what it is. That doesn't really do much. Let me look at Druid real quick. We have time, right? I think we have time to try to multi-class. But I don't know, and I've never been clear on this, on 4th level, if you gain that ability score improvement, or if you had to have 4 levels in one class. I think it's 4 levels in one class. So basically if I had done a 4th level and stayed in Barbarian, one of these ability scores would increase. I would probably likely increase Constitution, because if I can get that Constitution to +2, that would raise all of my hit points. My Strength isn't bad, and I think after getting a Con 12, I'd probably focus everything into Strength moving past that. Yeah, I'd probably try to find magic items to get my Charisma up. I don't know. At level 3, you likely do have more gold, and TBD. I don't know what it is. Alignment is an holdover from classic stuff. He's probably chaotic good. They're probably chaotic good. I am really failing with that today. Okay, so basically, I'm going to do my saving throws, and you'll kind of get the same idea for how the skills work. So see, because I have the strength +2 and a proficiency bonus of +2, my strength saving throw is +4. Dexterity is +3. Constitution is +3. Intelligence +2. Wisdom +0. And Charisma -1. And basically, you see here on the skills where it says Acrobatics Dex, because I'm not proficient in it, I'm just a +3 to Acrobatics. So when I roll my D20, I just add 3 to it. But Animal Handling, I would add +2, but then Athletics, for example, because it's +2, would be a +4 on that one. I'm just going to do basic. I did one that wasn't a trained skill, and I'm going to do the rest of my trained skills. So the Intelligence is +2, so Nature would be +4, which is nice. Wisdom is +0, but because I have the training in it, it is now a +2, which makes that trapping thing much more interesting. Couple other little details in here. Let's just add the hand axe. The hand axe damage. Where is it? So it's 1d6 slashing. D6. Perfect. And javelins. 1d6 piercing. Dex. My attack bonus, because I believe your race. Okay, so my attack bonus is with the battle axe, because I would use strength with that. 2 would be +4. Because I'm proficient in it, basically. That would also be +4. The hand axe could be +4. I think the hand axes also have finesse. Let me double check. Light. What does light mean? No, they don't have finesse, so we'll always use strength. Although I think if I throw it, it uses dex. But I probably wouldn't be throwing my hand axes. Maybe I would. I don't know. But yeah, that is basically how to make a D&D character. I know we have about 12 minutes left. Oh no, Steven, I'm sorry your app keeps crashing. That's not good. I hope you got it to work in the end. I don't think I'm going to go level 4 with this. I kind of like Uli where they're at. I really like Uli where they're at. Basically, they have some spells, which are really interesting. You could probably find some really cool things to do with Barbarian in later books. But I think Uli would be really interesting multi-classed into something. I think going Monk or Druid is probably the best direction, although Druids need Wisdom, I think, don't they? I think that sounds right. So maybe Druid wouldn't be a good idea for that. What's something that uses Intelligence other than Wizard? Because I think Wizard would not make any sense with that. So if I were going to multi-class and I wasn't like really paying attention to what was happening in the game itself, Ranger could be interesting because dexterity is important to it, and Uli's dexterity skill is really, really good already. could go with fighter because they already have the strength and dexterity. Monk does dexterity and wisdom. Paladin would not be a good fit. Rogue could technically be a good fit, but I think with the rage and the sneak attack, that's too many things you have to keep track of. So I would probably, were I to multi-class in here, probably go Ranger or Monk. I would love to go Druid, but with that Wisdom score being that low, it would not help in any way, shape, or form. That said, do what's right for your game. If Druid makes sense for Uli and you're using them, go Druid all the way and see what happens with it. I mean, heck, even adjust some of your ability scores maybe too. None of this is set in stone. This is just me kind of making an example. But that is Uli Turin, level 3 Barbarian, our little raging ball of muscle that is all of 3 feet 4 inches tall. They likely do need some different equipment for being level 3. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a pretty solid little character, and it'd be fun to see it in game. If you have any questions, please come to our Discord. You'll find links to that on our website and across our socials. We're also active on Instagram, Twitter, I was about to say Twitch, and Facebook. Come join us. You'll find this character sheet next Monday on the blog, like I've been posting after every building character. And if you just want to come and chat and say hi, we'll be here. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.